Imagine a quiet center of the room sits the covert narcissist. He isn't loud. He doesn't dominate the room. In fact, he often appears thoughtful, wounded, misunderstood. People describe him as sensitive, deep, emotionally complex. You may even hear he's been through a lot. He just needs patience. But somehow, your needs feel excessive to him. Your boundaries feel cruel to him. And your emotional labor becomes endless and exhausting. This is not kindness misunderstood. This is the male covert narcissist, a subtype of a narcissistic personality disorder that hides not behind superiority, but behind fragility. My name is Fawzia Faizi Shah, licensed clinical social worker. Welcome to my channel. Let's get into it. Male covert narcissist, also referred to in clinical literature as vulnerable narcissist, is frequently overlooked because it contradicts the very popular image of a narcissist as being loud, arrogant, and exhibitionistic. Yet research by Pincus, Kane, Wright, and Miller demonstrates that vulnerable narcissist is equally narcissistic, but organized around hypersensitivity to criticism, chronic shame, entitlement to special considerations, and a persistent sense of victimization. In men, this presentation is especially obscured by social narratives that equate emotional withdrawal, passive aggression, and resentment with introversion of trauma sensitivity rather than personality pathology. Clinically, the male covert narcissist is organized around three core psychological processes. Number one, shame-based grandiosity. Unlike overt narcissists, covert male narcissists do not advertise superiority. They experience it internally. Research identifies this as a grandiosity collapsed inward, producing moral superiority, intellectual elitism, emotional martyrdom, a belief that no one truly understands me. This is only humility. It is self-focus fused with entitlement. Their suffering becomes proof of uniqueness. Defensive victim identity. Clinical studies have shown that vulnerable narcissists externalize blame while internalizing shame. This results in a chronic grievance narrative, passive resentment, silent withdrawal as punishment, guilt-inducing self-pity. Rather than rage, the primary affect is injured entitlement. Empirical findings suggest heightened reactivity in the threat detection and self-referential processing systems, meaning perceived slights feel existentially, not situationally. Empathy that collapses under threat, like all narcissistic subtypes, covert narcissists demonstrates unstable empathy. They may show attunement when it reinforces their self-image, but when confronted with another person's needs, empathy collapses. This is consistent with research showing preserved cognitive empathy impaired, effective empathy under ego threat. Your pain becomes competition. Attachment-based research links covert narcissists to early environments characterized by emotional inconsistency, conditional validation, chronic invalidation paired with intermittent praise. For boys, emotional dependency is often shamed, so vulnerability becomes fused with entitlement to care without reciprocity. The adult Result is a man who feels chronically unseen, yet cannot truly see others. This is not about pathologizing sensitivity. It's about recognizing patterns of psychological harm. If you are in a relationship with a covert narcissist, understand that empathy may appear but cannot be sustained. Stop explaining your pain in hopes it will be integrated. Boundaries are not abandonment. They are psychological. They are safety. And my recommendation for clinicians is to assess narcissistic traits dimensionally, not behaviorally. Screen for shame-based grandiosity and victim identity. Avoid reinforcing the wounded self without addressing the entitlement. For men listening, pain does not excuse control. Suffering does not grant moral authority, and introspection without accountability is not growth. True healing requires tolerating shame without collapsing, relinquishing the victim identity, and learning to relate without centering the self. Covert narcissist survives through confusion. Awareness gives it a name, and naming it is how the cycle begins to break. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment and tell me what your experience has been dealing with a covert narcissist. I'm very interested to hear that because you see a lot of that in the workplace as well. But in your personal life or your workplace, leave a comment about that. Thank you and have a great day.